I'm Theron Ramacharaka. In the last 4 videos or so, starting with, what is it, number 250, down there with the one called Simple Technique for Cultivation of Willpower. I put these in a playlist. The last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos. This will be the 6th now in a playlist. Okay. In the previous video, the one immediately prior to this one, I think it's number 254. I was talking quite specifically about the meditative pulse. Now, I want to add something here. A little bit more information. This is just one video at a time, you know. Don't want to get too multi-subject in any one video here. So, you know, try to keep things simple, one bite at a time. Okay, so here's another bite. I talked about in the last video, you know, the meditative pulse. How do they work? I talked about the 2, will and desire, and then the animating factor, the thing, you know, that does the action, vril. So the meditative pulse plus vril, moving something in the same direction, right? Okay. I want to add that at the mental plane level, this is creative. Thoughts are creative. Mentation is creative. Even if you're not coming up with something new in the little picture of things, you know, like nothing's new under the sun. Okay. But we want to push towards, you know, it's pushing towards something new. This is a creative thing. This is creativity. This is creation. Desire and will working together. The positive, I mean, the feminine and the masculine side of things. We want to talk about universal gender. Creation. If we want to bring that gender thing down to, you know, the human level, you got males and females, and it takes both working together to create a new life, you know, a new human life, to create an offspring. Creation. You want to talk about stage acting or film acting. You know, you have the actor and his technique together with the script and the stage directions, the blocking from the director and the author, you know, the screenwriter or the playwright, coming together to create a new thing, the role, the character. You know, you got the masculine side, you got the feminine side. It always has to work like that. Okay, so I want you to bear in mind that this action of will and desire working together to get, you know, to give vril something to do is creative. I want you to bear that in mind. And even more importantly here, what in self-mastery and personal evolvement and movement toward true selfhood, at least as a means to circumvent consciousness hijacking and perception deception, we want to make this movement, this creation, this action toward constructive things that aid our personal development towards self-mastery and true selfhood. evolvement, constructive evolution, personal evolvement. Is that clear? This action that is the result of will, desire, and will working together is creative. We want to make sure that it's constructive creation. It can be destructive if desire gets off in the wrong direction. It can be destructive if will isn't operating right. In working together with the movement of will as the animating factor involved in the movement, there's creation of pushing towards something else, something different. We want to make sure that we're doing that in a constructive manner. And the further toward true selfhood we move, the less false ego is involved, false selfhood. So the movement in that direction will be more constructive in accordance with universal will for all things to evolve. Just want to point that out. The creative aspect of all of this, it is creative. So take care in how you use this. Like that diagram in the last video. It shows the bar magnet and the jet engine together. That shows action. It shows movement. It shows change. It's creative. Just like the entire cosmos in operation by way of the law of opposites and the other basic laws at work. But here we're talking about, instantiations of the law of opposites at work and the principle of polarity inherent to that law, bringing it down to the mental plane level of operations. Remember, thoughts are things, and they are creative. We're trying to show how that works. Being creative is not an incidental thing. We're talking about how the creation works here at the mental plane level. It's not incidental. It's essential. We're talking about how that works in a pragmatic way. And also remember that behind it all must be the true self, as control central, core control. Behind this, where things are going to go in a false ego direction. So, employ this creativity appropriately. Okay, that was the point of this video. I'm Theron Q. Ramacharaka. Remember, all the universe is alive. You are an integral part of it. You're not separate from it. When you work in accordance with how it works, then you're harmonized with it. But if you get off on a destructive path, then you're not harmonized with it. Because it's trying to create, not destroy. The only thing destroyed within it is what was. In this creative movement, something else is not being the case anymore. This is the case. This is the case now. Movement, this is the case now. This isn't. So that's destroyed. That's the only thing that should be destructive going on. So be careful. I'm giving you powerful tools here. Again, the point of this video is that action, talked about in the last video, the immediately prior video, is creative. And when it comes to self-mastery, personal involvement, and movement toward true selfhood, at least for the purpose of circumventing consciousness hijacking and perception deception, we must use this appropriately, correspondingly, because it is creative. And the more you know about how it works and employ it intentionally, the stronger will be the result. So I'm giving you a caution here and a direction, as well as pointing out that it's creative. Theron Ramacharaka here. Be well.